the nursing home she had poured her heart into. But he didn't know that Laura, long before her illness grew worse, had already made her final move. She had transferred most of her businesses to her father's name, not out of vengeance, but to protect her children's future. When the lawyer read the documents aloud, Joe's face twisted with rage. "What do you mean most of the assets are in her father's name?" he shouted, slamming his hand on the table. "Those businesses are mine too." Laura sat quietly, too weak to argue, her eyes filled with silent tears. "You tricked me, Laura," Joe screamed. "You planned this all along." The tension in the room thickened. Laura's breathing became shallow, her vision blurred. The shouting felt distant, like thunder in the distance. And then suddenly, her body gave in. She gasped, clutched her chest, and collapsed to the floor. "Laura! Somebody help!" the lawyer shouted as panic filled the room. But by the time they reached the hospital, it was too late. Laura was pronounced dead on arrival. When her father heard the news, he fell to his knees, crying uncontrollably. "No, not my child, not my Laura." The man who had given everything for his daughter could barely breathe through his tears. The world around him seemed to fall silent, empty, without her. Joe showed no emotion. He didn't wait for the funeral. Instead, he went straight to Laura's company offices, desperate to seize control of her empire. But destiny has a way of defending the pure-hearted. When the legal proceedings began, Laura's final will was found, one she had written with trembling hands in her last weeks. In that letter, she gave full guardianship of her children to her father, and transferred ownership of all her businesses to him and her 3 kids. The court's final ruling granted Joe only 1% of the company, a bitter reminder of everything his greed had cost him. When the judgment was read aloud, Joe's head hung low. For the first time, tears welled in his eyes, not for Laura, but for the realization that he had destroyed the one person who loved him unconditionally.
At Laura's funeral, the sky wept with rain. Her father stood over her grave, holding her children close as the wind whispered through the cemetery. His voice trembled as he spoke to her tombstone. "You may be gone, my daughter, but your love will never die. You gave everything, even when the world gave you nothing in return."
Moral lesson: true love is not tested in comfort, but in pain. Wealth fades, beauty fades, but loyalty, that is love's truest form. Joe's greed cost him everything that mattered, while Laura's kindness built a legacy that will live on through her children. Her story reminds us, never abandon the ones who would give their last breath for you, because one day, you may realize their love was the only real treasure you ever had.